All right. It's Wednesday morning. The rain's back. We're going to get rain for about a week. Uh, and boy, howdy, TikTok did something last night. My FYP this morning, I don't know. It's full of teenagers and makeup tutorials. But I saw a thing that Gavin Newsom on his podcast, his next interview guest is going to be Steve Bannon. And of course, people on the left are freaking out. Of of all the I'm going to say something unpopular here. Of all the people on the right to talk to, I don't exactly know what Gavin's theory is behind these guests he's lining up. I mean, he had Charlie Kirk, and now he's going to have Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is one of the guys that you want to actually have a conversation with. Because Steve Bannon is totally on board with Donald Trump, but he absolutely detests Elon Musk. And say what you want about Steve Bannon. Very strange man. I'm not sure why. I don't know what the thing is about wearing like three collared shirts at the same time. That seems to be a thing with him. Um, Steve Bannon is an incredibly intelligent person. He's not Charlie Kirk, not by a long shot. And a lot of people don't know that Steve Bannon is former military. I think he was in the Navy for many years. Um, and for the longest time, during the first term, it's like he was an idea guy for Trump. And again, it's like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he is a garbage human being, but he will have an actual conversation. I'm kind of looking forward to listening to this conversation. But, you know, and it's terrible. It's just fucking terrible because, I mean, I did a post. I did like a 10 or 11 minute TikTok yesterday morning that I just titled "They Outnumber Us." And a lot of people in the comments were like, "No, there are more of us than there are of them." Well, there weren't on November 4th or 5th, whenever election day was. There were more of them than there were of us on election day. And a lot of those people who showed up on election day, a lot of them listened to Steve Bannon. And nobody on the left does. So I'm going to be curious to see what this conversation is. It's 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 gross that we kind of have to have conversations with people like this. It's fucking gross. It's just gross. But that's where the majority of the electorate is right now, whether we like that or not. Uh, there hasn't been, Donald Trump's polling numbers are down a little bit. There hasn't been a collapse in his polling numbers, even with what he's been doing to the economy. I mean, when you look at the economic numbers under Joe Biden, it was just, yeah, inflation sucked and prices escalated and increased. But as far as like the core numbers of the economy did extremely well under Joe Biden. Just did. That's just numbers, man. And and Donald Trump destroyed that proactively on purpose in 6 weeks. I mean, the stock market's down like 3,200, 3,500 points, something like that, in 6 weeks. I, you would think some of these MAGA voters have 401ks. I don't know. You would think, you know, roughly half of the federal workers who are getting fired voted for Donald Trump. And this week is when they're going to completely destroy the Department of Education. And you would think, I mean, like 23 of the top 25 states that receive the most money from the Department of Education are red states that voted for Trump. That money is doing something to benefit those people in their states and their kids. I don't know. So, but something that a lot of people don't know about Gavin Newsom is he's dyslexic and he memorizes everything. And the way his brain works, it's like, I mean, that's why he does so well when he's on Fox News, because he has memorized literally every single thing, and it's right there at the tip of his tongue, no matter who he's talking to or what he's talking about. So I'm looking forward to this conversation, and that's one of the reasons why, because Gavin Newsom never has to look anything up. Whether you agree with him or not, politically, whatever, it's going to be an interesting conversation. It's gross that these conversations have to take place, but right now they do. They just do.